Hello, my heretical entrepreneurs. I hope you are all doing well and are safe and healthy during these uncertain times. Have you been hearing many people yelling all over the internet that it's time to pivot your business? I think I've heard the word pivot more in the last 30 seconds than I've heard it in my entire life. It seems like every single day there's 1,000 more people screaming that now you have to pivot your business. And the first time I heard it, I was like, well, yeah, there's some validity in that, in the sense that maybe what you were doing before is not what you need to be doing now. So, partly right. But after I had heard 1 billion people all over the world using the same phrase over and over again, you gotta pivot, it just became very triggering for me. So I wondered, what is it about this phrase that I find so upsetting? And what would be a better approach? So I thought about it a lot, and in my mind, when I hear the phrase, when I hear people shrieking right now about how you have to pivot, I see like somebody ice skating along, and they're skating forward, and then suddenly they pivot, and then they're skating in another direction. And the issues that I take with this image is that, for one thing, it's all entirely yang. It's all constant pushing, thrusting forward, driving forward, action, 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 with no pausing and no chance to gather any resources to move forward. No sense of cyclicality, just constant pushing forward and moving, and then you're even the moment of change is a moment of action and moving and pushing and driving and striving, and then you're going in another direction and you're pushing and driving and striving. And for one thing, that assumes that you know exactly what you're doing, and that your vision is totally clear the whole time, which in these times might not be the case. And another thing that's challenging about this image of pivoting is that it is an image that's very cut off from the root chakra. It gives a sense of continual action and movement with no chance to feed this movement, with no chance to get the resources that you need to then move forward. It's all about go, 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 and it assumes a lot of clarity that you may or may not have, and it doesn't provide you, the individual, with a chance to get what you need in order to be of any use to anyone. So it's a very sort of a distancing from your roots, a distancing from your wellspring, a distancing from the reality that you need a lot in order to move forward. And if you don't get it, you're just gonna exhaust yourself. You're just gonna turn into a frazzled mess. And in these uncertain times, you may already be feeling that way, and you may already be feeling like, I could use more root chakra time, not less. You may be wanting to dive deeper into your root chakra so that you get what you need, so that you can then be of service to any of your clients. So I was wondering, what in the world? And then it just came to me that instead of pivoting, I invite you to take this time to think more about rooting. See, here I am sitting against this awesome tree with my own roots sitting right on the ground. And I invite you, if this is available to you, to go for a nice walk, and then find a tree, nice big tree like this if possible, if that's available to you. And if you have no trees available to you, then just like find a plant and just sort of hug it like that. But if you have a tree available to you, give it a nice big hug. It's okay. Say hi. Say hi, tree. And the tree will say hi back. And then really take your time to check in with how the tree feels, because the tree would never dream of using the word pivoting in a million years. It would just laugh at you. The tree is like, the life of a tree is all about continual responding to the elements and continual responding to its environment and continual responding to what nutrients and resources are available to it. But not in the sense of I continually have to be of service to everybody all the time. This tree, you'll feel as you touch it, the tree is always very alive and very active, and the tree is always sort of searching. You know, you can feel the roots of the tree while you stand next to it. You can feel the roots reaching down into the ground, and they're always looking. They're always looking for the juice, you know, and they're always soaking up the good ground stuff, the good ground nutrients, and the water and the deliciousness. They're just always up into the tree. And as you touch the tree, you can feel the sap in the tree, very alive. And if you look up into the branches of the tree, where's the branches of my tree? There. If you look up into the branches of the tree, you will see that everything about a tree is, again, a continual response to every bit of environmental factor that has been exposed to. See all of these tree branches here? They're all, every bit about how they are shaped is an immediate response to the wind and the sun, and the continual search for what they need. And you would agree that trees are very useful critters, but they're ultimately self-interested, like all living beings. They're not standing here thinking, I was put here to be a backrest for this person here. No. And I need you to find that tree-like self-interest in you, because if you don't find it, you're not going to be of good to anybody. So while you're hanging out with your tree, after you've given it a good hug and gotten a good sense of how its roots feel reaching into the ground, have a sit down on the ground, connect your own roots with the ground, and forget the concept of pivoting. Feel what it feels like to let your own roots just into the ground, and go back to the roots of your business. What was it that you originally wanted to do anyway? Why did you really want to do it? What's really interesting to you? And what environmental factors around you are you responding to right now for yourself? And not the sense of, oh, I have to pivot. More of a sense of, I'm reaching, I'm looking, I'm finding, I'm seeking, just like the tree is always looking for its own nutrients and it's always responding. But you see, it's not pivoting. The tree is right where it always was. So how can you root more? Instead of spinning away from something that you were superficially doing, how can you get more in touch with the bigger thing that you've always been doing and do more of that? How can you find and soak up the juice that you need in order to then be of service to your clients? Go find your tree, hug it, sit under it, and find out how you can root instead of pivoting. Root to then be even awesomer in times like these and always. Good luck.